Good morning, everyone. My name is Ted Phillips. I'm the chair of the JEA Ward Committee, and I would like to call our January 9th, 2025 meeting to order. We have a physical quorum present this morning, represented by myself, Jody Brooks, and Kim Willer, who is here for Ricky Erickson. OGC is represented by Rebecca Levy. Budget is represented by Stephanie Neely. Did we receive any public comments via email?
No, sir.
We have no one from the public here in person. Is there anyone from the public on the call this morning who would like to speak up? If so, unmute yourself and you have the floor. Hearing none, we will move on. On today's consent agenda, we have items 1 and 2 and items 4 through 6. Item 3 is being deferred. They have been approved by procurement, budget, OGC, legal, the business unit, VP and chief, and are ready for the awards committee approval. Please note, for item 4, the term has been updated to reflect that one asset will be purchased in FY25 and the others will be purchased in FY26. Before we take a vote on the consent agenda, would anyone like to move any of the items to the regular agenda for discussion or defer an item to another week? Hearing none, may I get a motion to adopt today's consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
So that was Jody with the motion and Kim with the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is adopted. On our regular agenda, we have 2 items this morning. The first item is an award to CD Smith, Inc. This is for new storage tank and pumping system in the Rivertown. So there were 8 respondents on this bid. It was determined that CD Smith was the best choice. I was just hoping to get a little insight into what were the things that they were evaluated on, and how did CD Smith score compared to maybe the 2 next respondents?
Yes, hello, good morning. My name is Mark Kenna. I'm the PM for this project. Let me pull up the, sorry. I'll
That's
go
okay.
back to this. Pulling up the bid evaluation right now. Yeah, so CDM Smith was rated towards their design approach, work plan, as well as their company experience. So for their design approach and work plan, they just had a more comprehensive resource plan than the others. Also their completeness and the depth of their tasks and subtasks in their proposal was a lot more detailed than some of the others. Their cost effectiveness of their proposed solution was also more cost effective than some of the others, as well as their creativity towards the project and their design. As far as their company experience, they gave an in-depth summary of their 2 similar projects. They've had similar projects that they've done with JEA with the similar project scope of this project. And as for their past company experience, they've done plenty of work with JEA. Again, with similar projects, similar to the project scope to this project.
So Mark, how did they score out compared to maybe the next 2 firms?
Yeah, so
Do you have that pulled up, Mark? Do you have the score pulled up with you?
I do have the score pulled up.
Okay, go ahead.
So, of course, CDM Smith came ranked in first with their scoring, total scoring of 261 points with 3 of evaluators on it. The second rank is Mott McDonald with 255.5 points. And the third rank is Corollo Engineers with 245 points.
Okay. Thank you. That gives, so it seems like that pretty close. But that they were well ahead. So, okay. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. That was what I was looking for. Anybody else have any questions on regular agenda item number 1?
I don't.
All right. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
So we have Jody with the motion, Kim with the second. All those in favor of approving award number 1, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, award number 1 is approved. The number 2 item is a award for wire and cable for stock. There were 5 different vendors that were awarded money on this. I guess really what I'd like to see maybe in the future is if we could put in the agenda just a little grid of who was getting what, so we could understand, because by just looking at this, it's, it's like, well, Wesco, they bid 15.9 million. Why didn't you give them all the business? Well, obviously they didn't bid on all the different things that we were asking them to bid on. So if maybe we could break out I think there were 14 items that we were looking for, 14 different types of wire and cable. So just a little bit more depth in when we have these multi products and multi-vendor kind of awards, just so it shows that we did pick the lowest bids.
That was my confusion when the award and amounts doesn't really comport with what the bid numbers here. I mean, so that was my major question, and I don't know if anyone can explain. And it looks like we only, the primary contract for 11 of the 14 highest usage items was awarded to Southwire. I'm assuming Southwire's bid for those 11, but it's assumption on my part. So if there was some way to break it down as to, that they were the lowest bidder on that particular product, those products, would be very helpful. And that is that assumption correct?
On the backup, 909B, the backup is a list of all the items and who was awarded it.
Could in the future, when we have these multiples, could we just get that like a little grid and just drop it into the agenda, so that, because a lot of people only just see the agenda, they don't get all the backup.
Okay, yeah, we'll work on that.
Thank you very much.
We'll do, Ted. Yeah, we'll do that in the future. And Southwire will be, so there's a list A and a list B, and the list A was the group that had the 14 items, and that's where Southwire is the primary, and they won 11 of those 14 items. Gresco won the 3 of the 14 items, but the tab B is where the other suppliers come in, and they won, I want to say there's around 70 or 80 items on there, and that's where you have a large grouping of items, and that's why the award amounts and the bid amounts don't exactly line up. Is that, we took the best price, and on those 14 items, the best price and the best evaluated, and the best evaluated was also the best price overall.
Okay.
But when you combine all those things together, that's why none of the award amounts really match up to the bid amounts, is because we pieced it out to who was the best supplier for us at JEA for the respective item.
Thanks for the clarification, Kenny.
Yeah, but if there's any way, item one, this is what the bid amounts were. And we picked the lowest bid for item one. Item
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
I mean, because these overall numbers didn't help me at all in this write-up, but this is an expensive item, right? I mean,
Yeah, we're
So,
talking,
over
Yeah,
$40 million,
yeah.
but the estimate was 50, so that's. But again, it was really more how the information is presented on our agendas, to help us understand, what we're getting the best deal. And you guys did all the work. It's just a matter of, just presenting it.
and so, I mean, I don't want it to be like 3 pages long for one agenda item. So, I mean, you can maybe just put an asterisk, the difference between the award amount and this bid is other items, see, supporting documentation or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That makes sense, Kenny?
Without a doubt, sir. Yeah. We'll definitely work to get something that elaborates more on that, particularly on these awards where there's quite a bit of items.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And this was this purely just, bid amounts? There wasn't anything it looks like you went more with the hybrid versus the XLP or the EPR, but is there anything qualitative in this or is just purely pricing?
So the first 14 items, which is that list A, we evaluated also on lead time and other value-added services that the suppliers provided.
Okay.
And so Southwire was the best evaluated, and they are the awardee for the primary supply. And they were also the lowest cost supplier for all of those items. And then actually the 3 items in which we picked the secondary bidder, they were actually the lowest price on those. And they were very competitive for lead times on those respective items as well. So we thought there was a good mix in how we could incorporate a secondary supplier that was going to regularly get items. And then they will also be backups in case there's issues with a primary supply having problems. But we're hopeful. I mean, Southwire is an incumbent right now on some of these items, and they've really got aggressive on their lead times. You're looking at, if we implement one of their swim programs, which is one of their value-added products, we'll move into one of only 8 utilities in the country, and the other 7 are very large IOUs that have this. So we'll be the only muni that's part of that program, and that will deliver JEA 6.5-week lead times. And we haven't seen 6.5-week lead times on these types of items in probably 6 or 7 years. So those are some value-added items and that we were looking at, and so they sort of doubled up on those types of things where you're creating these great vendor management inventory types of things from a value-added services, and then also from a lead time standpoint, they were considerably better than everybody else with those 6.5-week lead times.
Yeah, good job, Kenny. Thank you. Again, I know these things are sometimes challenging, and but thanks for the explanation and good work on this.
Yeah, I appreciate that extra effort and yeah, 6-week lead times. That sounds like almost tomorrow compared to most of the stuff we're getting now. So anyway, thank you for the explanation and the discussion. Any other questions on regular award number 2? I would entertain a motion to approve award number 2.
So moved.
Second.
So that was Jody with the motion and Kim with the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is adopted. All right. So, so items 1 and 2 and 4 through 6 of the consent agenda have been approved, and items 1 and 2 of the regular agenda have been approved for the January 9th, 2025 meeting. Is there any other business to come before the awards committee? Hearing none, I will adjourn today's meeting. Thank you, everyone, for all the hard work. Have a great rest of your week. Stay warm And we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you.